Morning, everyone. I'm Andy.
And I'm Mark. Bloody
And
hell,
here we
talk
are.
about early starts.
Yeah, I know, but immediate start as well. No technical hitches,
Yeah, no echo.
no mucking about. No,
So-
I beat you to the echo this morning.
Remarkable achievement.
Now, before we go any further, I have got a couple of announcements.
Oh dear. Shall I take notes?
No, because you'll forget anyway, and you'll forget when you left your notebook. So, before I forget, which I'm already in the process of forgetting. Oh yeah, it's mate Kevin's birthday today. He's one of our Patreons, so happy birthday, Kev! And
Really?
keep up the good financing. We love you.
I wonder how old Kevin is. Do you know how old Kevin is?
I know exactly how old he is because
you're
he's
not
exactly 1 month older than me.
Oh, is he? All right, okay.
Yeah.
So
And funny enough, it was his wife's birthday yesterday.
All
who's
right.
exactly 1 year and 1 month younger than me.
So that means he's Pisces.
He is. Yeah, well done. Yeah, of course, because you're Aries like what I is.
No, I'm Pisces.
Oh, you're Pisces. I'm on the cusp. I'm the day after it switches,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah. Yeah. That's not something people talk about much these days, is it? One star sign. Is that still a thing?
We've still, no, it's not something blokes talk about, is what you mean. It's one of those things that women put a lot of stock in.
Astrology is women's stuff, is it?
Absolutely.
I don't know.
Of course it is. Oh, what star sign are you? If you wanted to get a bird's knickers off when you were a teenager in a pub, ask them their star sign. Fucking hell, those knickers hit the floor so far, quicker than Mike Tyson's opponents.
For God's sake. Probably in the establishments that you used to frequent. But in my enviro, it was more dinner and dance first.
Let me just park the Bentley. Ooh, knickers are off already. Ooh.
Oh dear.
So that was announcement number one. Announcement number two.
Yes.
We did this already on the Patreon podcast, but not on this podcast. And that is we have a new Patreon, which is our friend Luke.
Oh, yes. Well done, Luke, again.
Welcome to the team, Luke.
Yeah.
And you are now Mark's official boss.
Yeah, you're right.
So you can...
I have to submit.
When we can terminate his contract is entirely up to you. And thirdly, I've got a friend that I play Star Citizen with, or I have in the past. I haven't played Star Citizen for a few months now. I should get back into it. But he reached out to me a couple of days ago asking what was going on, how I was. So I told him I was busy with this and how we were ramping things up a bit here, etc. And I told him I'd give him a shout out. He's a great guy. He's from South Africa. His name is Rock Spider.
Yes, he can't be such a great guy if he plays, what's that game, Star Invader?
Star Citizen.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Andy.
Listen, he's funny as fuck. When we're on Discord talking, he won't mind me saying this, I'm sure, if he listens. He does listen to a couple of episodes. But he's funny as hell. He forgets that he's on Discord and like there's might be 3 or 4 of us having a chat while we're doing stuff. And all of a sudden someone will come in where he is, or someone will ring him and he goes full Afrikaans and it sounds like he's chewing the arse off someone. He said, I fucking told you. You fucking do what I fucking asked. Don't fucking tell me to fucking do.
Hang on a second. So this Discord thing, you can talk to each other. You're not typing out a message.
No, you can. But it's basically a voice communication thing.
Oh my God.
But it's hilarious because he forgets he's got us on.
Yeah.
And he goes right into it. Like you can tell that they've got different workplace ethics in South Africa because he's like, you fucking idiot. I told you.
You do a good South African accent though.
I had one of my mum's sisters married a guy from Joburg.
All right.
And
have you ever been there?
No, thank God. But when we were kids, he came over with his missus to visit. and their daughter Paula, my cousin. And he was regaling us with stories of his life in the bush.
And he's still there, is he?
I have no idea even if he's still alive.
Not even your cousin?
My cousin's around. She actually came and lived in London for a while later on when she was grown. But as far as I know, she's back there now. Anyway, that was our shout outs.
Yes. What other housekeeping things do we have to do?
I'm sort of, because it's tax rebate season. So
no, I never get tax rebate. I get tax bills.
Here,
I certainly pay tax.
It's a bit like when you lived in England, and of course you were registered in Monaco. So you didn't pay tax there either.
In my dreams. That was something that always shocked me. The number of my colleagues that had this ridiculous ex-dom, what do you call it? Non-dom status. I mean, they'd lived there for 20 years. They had houses, families, no intention of ever moving anywhere. I can't remember what it entitled you. It wasn't tax-free, but it was basically tax-free.
It's like 5% tax or something.
Yeah. I mean, that was ridiculous.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, Rishi Sunak was doing it, wasn't he? Married to the richest woman in India.
Yes, you're right, actually. Yes, she was non-dom. That's right. She was worth 700 million simply...
No, she was worth more than that.
No, I think she was worth 700 million sterling simply as a result of being the daughter. So she didn't work for the company.
Oh, right. Okay. No, but I mean, she will eventually get all of that, no doubt.
Yeah, I don't know how many siblings she's got. So Rishi is laughing all the way to the bank, isn't he? Because I think he was, I mean, I say successful. I don't count hedge fund managers as successful, but I think that's what he did, as did so many others.
A bit like the man of the people, Farage.
The man of the people, Farage, who manages to amass a fortune. He's the highest earning politician in the UK at the moment, and you can't really call it earning.
No.
It's just people of the likes of, actually not Elon Musk anymore, giving him money.
Well, Elon Musk is still very much right-leaning in British politics.
Elon Musk, you can't get much more right-leaning. He's a bloody Nazi. For God's sake, how much further right can you go? It's like, I was reading an interesting thing, and of course, you don't know half of what's real and what's not. But do you remember that character, Tommy Robinson?
Yeah, of course.
Now,
he's still in the news now.
He's still in the news now. And, I've always thought of him as a bit of a thug. I mean, that's basically what he is.
Well, he was. He was a football hooligan.
Oh, that's very... He was talking the other day about the vitriol that he has to endure.
Well, that's right. And he claimed he had to leave the country.
Yes. He
claimed away from ISIS threats.
Yes.
So basically, he is now an illegal immigrant somewhere else.
No, but the ridiculous thing was he moved to Spain 5 years ago.
Yeah, you see, this is all bollocks, right? This is all smoke and mirrors.
All right,
he didn't have to leave the country.
No.
He had to go back to Spain to avoid paying tax in England.
Yes, exactly.
That's basically why.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I mean. It was just all a load of bollocks.
Yeah, it's just, all of them are at it.
I know.
It doesn't matter what way they lean, what their politics are, or what they pretend to be sticking up for the general public. They are all at it.
Oh, I see. Hang on a second. So you just suddenly reverted back to rolling all politicians into the same bucket?
Oh, yeah. I've never said I will keep any of them alive. They all need to be deaded. All of them. I'm inciting.
That's such a sad cop-out.
It's not.
It is.
It worked in the French Revolution. It worked in the Russian Revolution. Kill them all.
No, because short of a revolution, you're letting them off the hook. You're letting off.
Oh, come on. Why? What? So we should pay even more to keep them alive for 20 years so they can think about what they did. Fuck off. Just bullet each. That's all it takes. Then it's game over. And all that extra money you've saved, you can share out, give alms to the poor.
Give alms. As in,
Arms,
yeah, exactly. I was going to say not
not
weapons.
guns.
No, exactly. Well, you've got to be careful when you go off on a rant. You never know what you might be inciting.
Yeah, well, of course, because I don't have that BBC accent, you can't be sure if I'm saying arms or arms.
Exactly. You need to practice it. Do you do a BBC accent? You do Woody Woodstock, Nanny and all of that. But do you do a normal? Do you do a normal English accent, a Queen's English?
Actually, I do speak the Queen's English rather well, considering where I was born.
Good word, rather. That's quite a Queensy sort of English word.
Rather.
Oh dear. But there's not much going. What?
I don't have any trouble with people understanding me, no matter where they're from, if they speak any kind of English. But if it's like I've had people working with me from different parts of England who just cannot be understood by anyone outside of the UK.
No, well, even our friend Derek, I used to struggle to understand when he used to turn on. What was he? A Liverpudlian?
A Scouser.
A Scouser, exactly.
Scouser, mate.
Yeah.
All right, there, kid and I.
Did that fellow? Do you remember Rab C. Nesbitt?
Rab C. Nesbitt, yeah.
I have a feeling he might have died because he was in the news not so long ago.
I'll tell you who might also die. Talking of the news, actually, there was a story that caught my eye today. I don't know how to feel about it. It's a couple, British couple, who've been held in Iran for over 100 days now.
Oh, this is the elderly couple, isn't it? Or was that?
They're in their 50s. They're not elderly.
Oh, see, no, sorry, I was thinking 80s.
But they were picked up on charges of espionage, of course.
Yes.
But in reality, they were basically on a motorcycle trip around the world. And I have to ask myself and them, are they not deserving of being picked up for espionage? Imagine going into Iran as a UK fucking citizen without being forced to. It's not on anyone's holiday list. And I'm sure it's on the Foreign Office do not fucking travel list.
I don't know whether deserving is the right word. They were certainly naive to think they would get away with it. But you don't know how long they've been. 100 days.
100 days.
The Iran situation.
They've now been sentenced to 10 years. That's why it's in the news today.
Oh. Well, funnily enough, there is a motorcycle channel. A girl from Holland, Itchy Boots is her name. And
Itchy
she
Fanny.
goes to some very dodgy...
Itchy Fanny 750.
No. She goes to some very dodgy places. And the remarkable thing, she's alone. She's gone through the whole of the African continent. She's gone through the whole of the South American continent. And what is absolutely staggering and a bit of a relief is that all she encounters is basically goodwill and kindness.
Yeah, but I'm guessing she's quite well followed on YouTube, etc.
2.5 million people.
That's what I mean. So, I mean, that is in itself a layer of protection.
Oh. I see what you mean. Yes, you're right. Absolutely. But, she was going through the South American drug cartel areas, and they were not touching her.
I would feel perfectly safe in those areas because reasons.
Yeah, in your dreams.
Hey, Andy, man, how you doing?
Yeah, I can just imagine 30 years ago.
Hope you brought some dollar with you like the old days.
That's exactly how your mind works. You bumped into someone in one of your pervert pubs 30 years ago who happened to come from Colombia and you think you're connected. Is that the term?
I mean, I'm not going to incriminate myself live.
That's
for sure.
Anyway, what got us? Oh, this poor couple, because there was in fact a couple in Afghanistan, I recall, who were in their 80s, who'd worked charity for the whole time.
But again, if you're going to go to those places, you can't go in with your eyes wide shut.
No, but they'd been there 30 years. They'd been through all of the different regimes. But it's an interesting situation in Iran.
Your luck is going to run out.
I wonder if there is going to be regime change in Iran. It's cooled down over the last few days, but
Well, over 3,000 protesters have been murdered so far this year, or in the last 12 months, whatever.
It's pretty remarkable. I mean, I remember, I don't know if you remember, you weren't that dissimilar age. 1974 was when the Shah of Iran was deposed.
I was 11.
Yeah. So no one's saying he was a great guy, but I don't think anybody anticipated what was going to take over.
Ayatollah Khamenei.
That's right, Ayatollah Khomeini. And it's a crazy situation because we have, or had actually, of course, we've sold it now. We had an Iranian family who lived.
You sold the whole Iranian family?
No. They lived next door to mum and dad. And they had basically pretty much escaped the regime, though the parents still lived in Tehran. You know, what would happen? Well, I say what would happen. It's very interesting because when you see what's happening in the States, if you're like you and me, you're not on that side of the line. You know, your life is not necessarily, not your life is at risk, but your lifestyle is absolutely at risk. And it can change. It changed within the space of one election cycle. So, you know, these things do happen. And you think, you know, you think of places like Afghanistan and Iran, you think, oh, well, that could never happen in a European country. But in fact, it's happening in America, for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
So, you know, these things do happen. So, yes, though I don't think we'd get a Ayatollah Khomeini. Who would we get? Archbishop of Canterbury, who takes over the country.
He's already been accused of the children crimes, hasn't he?
No, he failed to, well, no, the one that got sacked.
Yeah.
No, one of them's already gone.
Well, I don't know. I can't keep up with him.
Yeah. No, he failed to act.
Failed to act. He was acting all right on centre stage. That's why he failed to act. Fucking pedos.
How many gold medals have we won in the Olympics? That's what I want to ask you. Have we?
England. I know it's 3. And of course, the British media made a big fuss saying, England have won more medals than Canada. And if you're only looking at gold, it was true. But unfortunately, England have only won 3 gold medals and that's it, whereas Canada have got 9 medals on the medal table.
They've only got 9? No, you must be out of date.
That was yesterday, so I don't know what's changed.
Really? Canada have only got 9 medals total?
Yeah, but don't forget the hockey is yet to come.
Yeah, but that's only 1 medal. They don't get 15.
They'll win gold, silver and bronze in that because it's Canada.
That would be a feat. I'm going to Google it. Winter Olympic medal table. Because Sweden aren't doing very well, are they?
They're actually below England, but only just. I think they're just 1 step below us.
They can't be below England. Don't be ridiculous.
Oh, yeah. I think so.
No.
But I can't remember. I didn't really go into it. I just had a quick glance because it was in the way of the Deirdre problem page.
Ooh. No, Sweden have won 6 gold. We're 6th. Oh. Sweden are 6th. Norway is top. What is it with... of course, I know what it is with Norway.
Well, they've got the cleanest air on the planet. That's what it is.
I don't think it's just the cleanest air on the planet. I think they've got so much money coming out of their ears that they're effectively allowed to have their athletes training full-time while holding down very demanding jobs for the government.
Well, it's a bit like the American football players. They're allowed to study hard while getting a full ride through university as long as they play for the right team.
England, I'm sorry, England don't have 3 goals.
They do.
Well, this medal table can't be out of date, for God's sake. The 22nd of February.
Which is in 3 days' time. You're looking at the last Olympics, aren't you?
No, I'm not, you idiot.
Well, it's only the 19th of February.
Oh, no. Sorry. That's unfortunate. You were absolutely right. It was just me misreading the table. 13th, Great Britain is on the table with 3 golds and nothing else.
Yeah.
So Sweden have absolutely whapped them. Though we are behind the Netherlands, which is a bit annoying.
Well, for a country that has 0 snowfall every year, 3's pretty good.
Yes, I assume it was the curling.
No, I told you it was a skeleton.
It was the skeleton. Well, you can't win 3 medals in the
You
skeleton.
can win 2. I think you can win the solo and the team.
Right. Did you see quite a,
Double,
you know, I don't watch much of it, so I only get to see the highlights that have come up on whatever it is. But that American bobsleigh,
No.
the American 4-man bobsleigh team, how many men was it that crossed the line out of a 4-man American bobsleigh team?
If I know the Americans, probably 7.
It was 1.
What, the others fell off?
All the other 3 fell off. So
That's why he won, because they had no weight.
He didn't win. So this poor bloke, you can see he's coming into the final corner, and he actually has to look behind him and think, "What the fuck? Where is everybody?"
Who's on the brakes?
And he had to scoot back through the bobsleigh to apply the brakes. I mean, pretty frightening. Can you imagine? So Italy are now second. But, I mean, it's just a ridiculous statistic. Norway have 15 gold medals. How many did the United States have? 7.
I don't know. I mean...
Less than half.
Yeah, but again, unless you're in Colorado, there's not much snow in Americas, is there?
What? Well, there's tragically, there was a big avalanche in they have mountains in California. There was a big avalanche, and I think 15 people were lost, and 9 of them died. China's not doing too well.
They have lots of snow.
China?
Yeah.
Oh, they probably have quite a good... Bloody hellfire. Here's a surprising one. Sorry, listeners.
Honestly.
One eternity later.
No, but it's just, I mean, suddenly things throw up. Finland are 24th. What the hell happened to Finland?
They've got a drinking problem, haven't they?
Well, they did 50 years ago, Andy. I don't think they've got a drinking problem today.
Once an alcoholic, always an alcoholic.
Well, that's true, but you think that stopped them performing. It's interesting. Why don't they do well at the Winter Olympics? There are not many of them, of course. There are even less Finns than Swedes.
Well, that's why then, obviously. I mean, the thing is, there's no money in it, is there?
Is there any money in it? Yeah, there's money.
Yeah, there's money in the ice hockey. But, I mean, these days, I mean, in the olden days, when we was kids... People used to do it for the pride of the nation. But then I think it was around the late 70s, 80s, it started getting more professional or semi-pro.
Yeah, that's right.
And then the Olympics lost its luster, really. People don't do it for glory anymore. They do it for cash. And where's the cash in curling? I mean, who the hell is going to fill a stadium with people pushing rocks?
Oh, I don't know about that. I reckon there's money involved.
Oh, I don't know. I can't see it. But then again, I couldn't see that there was money in selling pictures of your feet on OnlyFans. But hey ho, I'm raking it in.
I don't think you can see anything evidenced by the shirt you're wearing today.
How dare you? I blend in nicely with what's left of my chair. Oh yeah, I was saying, you know, because it's tax season. See, you threw me right off my thing. I was going to say, I'm going to see what they're going to give me this year. And if it's enough, I might invest in a new chair.
Well, sadly, I had the misfortune. You left the chair at some stage when we last did it, and it focused in on the... No, it's following you. And it focused in on the chair. How you can sit on that is beyond belief.
I wouldn't sit on it naked.
It literally, it's festering.
It's not festering. It's just being pulled apart slowly.
It is festering.
It doesn't actually fester. There's nothing in there that rots.
I'll tell you
This
what,
chair will still be around in 4,000 years.
if you got your magnifying glass out on your Android Airphone or whatever the hell you've got, I'm sure it would show a lot of movement. There'd be lots of things waving at you from inside that chair. Thanking you.
Most of them come from my body anyway.
Well, yeah. No, so that's pretty much it. The Olympics, tragedy in California. I don't think there's too much else news-wise.
They're still hounding Prince Andrew, of course. Now they're interviewing the Royal Protection Officers from...
That's right, and it's a very good point. I mean, surely, okay, you're a Royal Protection Officer, but you're still a policeman.
Well, and frankly, I mean, they were letting young girls into the Buckingham Palace on a regular basis using a code word, which was Mrs. Windsor, and then showing them through to Andrew's private quarters in Buck Heist.
No.
Yes, or at least once a week.
No.
I'm telling you, this is what is happening.
What is this out of InfoWars information, or this has been?
I've never ever seen this InfoWars you speak of.
Well, it's closed down.
This is for a much more reputable current bum.
I mean, I'm joking apart. I'm not saying it is reputable, but I mean, it's actually appeared in a national newspaper, has it?
Of course, and in Daily Mail and the Express. I mean, they all print these stories.
Yeah, but they're a bit National
They
Enquirer.
are known to be liars, but you can't disbelieve this because the royal family are not sparkly and shiny like everyone would like to think.
Oh, no, absolutely not.
And bear in mind, they invented beheading. Sorry.
No, they didn't.
Well, they certainly did it very early on in history. Hi. Yeah, sorry, Taylor, can you call me back? Yes, I'll send you the money. Don't worry. No, it's just one of my girlfriends.
No, I would, if you ask me who invented, and I know it's not actually invented it, but I would say the French. It was the French who mastered the art of the guillotine.
I mean, La Guillotine, Madame Guillotine was long after Henry VIII.
200 years, wasn't it?
Yeah, but he used to use the old chopper.
I don't think Henry VIII could lift a chopper. He could barely lift his own chopper.
He couldn't see his own chopper, I know that.
There probably wasn't much left of it, though apparently he didn't die of the nasty one. He died of something else.
You only have to see a picture of Henry VIII to know that he didn't live past 30.
Oh, I think he lived past 30.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. He wasn't a healthy specimen.
No. I think he was near death for many, many years. I wonder how it's going to turn out for this fellow, Andrew, if he's going to actually avoid... Can he be prosecuted in the UK for things like that?
Yes, I guess, but it would take some words from Parliament, who are all his mates, of course. Bear in mind they've all been mentioned in the same documents, and also they're all equally guilty of the Pizzagate thing.
The Pizzagate, where he was at the Pizza Express.
No, pizza is a code word for these people. It means children, basically. Underage minors. Pizza is the term they use. Oh, is there a pizza party tonight? Do you want to come to a pizza party? Like all these knobs have fucking pizza parties, for fuck's sake. It's a bit like, is Charlie around? Has anyone seen Charlie? We all know it's not a bloke called Charlie. We know what they're talking about.
I mean, maybe I'm, putting two dots together that don't belong together. But it's very interesting that the excuse that Andrew gave for not being with Guthrie...
That was purely arrogance.
He said he was at a pizza party with his daughters.
Yes. But he said he was at Pizza Hut, and I think
Pizza Express. Actually,
it doesn't matter. That was him.
It was a Freudian
making
slip.
A shout out to his mates, saying, "Help! Help! Need help here from my pizza buddies."
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well, of course, I hope you're totally wrong, but I suspect you might be right.
unfortunately, I bet I'm not. And we'll see when Andrew sues me. And I end up getting 12 million in cash, like what his last victim got.
No. Yeah.
It's amazing as well that his mum paid most of that, but also Charles chipped in.
1.5.
A couple of other members of the royal family chipped in. So I'd like to see their take on it as well.
The Queen put in 7. The King put in, I think, 1.5. And then the rest came from other members of the royal family.
And not one royal pound has been paid back. That was also...
No, exactly. It was all loans, and none of it has been paid back.
Well, yeah, of course, he hasn't got a job anymore.
How do you think they...
And Pizza Express won't have him.
How do you think they pitch that to other members of the royal family? Andrew's in a spot of bother. He's been accused of raping an underage girl.
And the royal coffers hold over £1 billion. So why
did they have to have a shout around?
I'll give him a meal. Are they as mean as the rest of the country? Is it like, I've only got 2,800 million quids left. I don't want to pay. I don't want to dip into my savings. Anyway, fuck them all. Let's get on with what we're here for. And
you can't have a subject for us today, surely. Ghosts. It's got to be ghosty.
Well, it's ETs, actually.
What? What on earth has that jingle got to do with ETs?
As I could get to like...
Well, you could have done that. You could have recorded it. You were almost in tune there, Andy. Not quite, but you were almost.
Breaching copyrights. So, we're going to talk about ETs, but specifically, we're going to talk about aliens and their connections to US presidents.
Obama.
Well, not just Obama.
No, but he was in the news this week.
Yes, I know. That's what gave me the idea, because I know that there's a few presidents who've had associations with ETs.
None of them have been abducted, have they, and probed?
Well, let's find out. So, for as long as human beings have looked up at the sky, we've wondered whether or not we're alone. But in the US, that curiosity took on a very specific political dimension. What happens when unidentified objects aren't just folklore, but radar returns? When they're tracked by fighter jets, and when they appear over military installations? And most importantly, what did the presidents of the US know about these things? So this is the story of US presidents and UFOs. From the dawn of the Cold War to the modern era of congressional hearings, declassified reports, and renewed official investigations. We're going to move chronologically. We'll examine documented sightings, private statements, political pressures, and intelligence briefings, and also the shifting public stance of the White House, who for over 80 years have denied everything. And there's no speculation in this. This is a detailed look at history, policy, and power. So the modern UFO era began in 1947, 2 years after the end of World War II, and at the very start of the Cold War. In June of that year, pilot Kenneth Arnold reported seeing 9 crescent-shaped objects near Mount Rainier, and his description of their motion, like saucers skipping across water, gave rise to the term flying saucers. Only weeks later came the most famous incident in UFO history, which was Roswell.
Area 50.
Roswell. New Mexico.
Is that not the same? Is that not the same as Area?
No.
Oh, that's something different, is it?
So in July 1947, debris was recovered from Roswell Army Airfield in New Mexico, and the military initially announced it had captured a flying saucer.
What, they actually announced that?
Yes, we did an episode on it. It was a while ago, so of course you wouldn't remember. But within 24 hours, the story had changed. Officials said it was merely a weather balloon that we mistook for a fully occupied flying saucer with dead bodies. Easy mistake. Now, the president at that time was Harry S. Truman. And Truman never publicly claimed to have seen evidence of extraterrestrials. However, during his administration, the US Air Force established Project Sign in 1948. And that was basically the first official UFO investigation program. It would later become Project Grudge. I don't know why. And then later, again, Project Blue Book. The Cold War context is pretty crucial. In 1947, the US was less concerned about aliens than about the Soviet Union. But the real fear was that UFO sightings might be advanced Soviet aircraft or psychological warfare operations. Declassified documents revealed that some early Air Force analysis took the extraterrestrial hypothesis quite seriously, at least briefly. But Truman's administration publicly minimized the phenomenon, and their message was clear: national security first, speculation later. But not much has really changed since then, because the US knee-jerk reaction to anything they're not sure of is to shoot it, even today. So the 1950s is where the golden age of UFO sightings started. And reports surged across the country. Radar operators tracked unknown objects. Pilots reported encounters, and newspapers were filled with headlines. In 1952, Washington, D.C. experienced a series of radar and visual sightings over multiple weekends. Objects were tracked over the Capitol and the White House itself, and fighter jets were scrambled. And the president at that time was Dwight Eisenhower. And this incident is one of the most documented UFO events in US history. Air Force officials later attributed it to temperature inversions causing radar anomalies, but the sightings triggered national panic. Under Eisenhower, secrecy intensified. In 1953, the CIA convened the Robertson Panel, a group of scientists tasked with evaluating the UFO phenomenon. And their conclusion wasn't that UFOs were alien spacecraft. Instead, they determined that UFO reports posed a potential national security threat because they could dog communication channels and be exploited by foreign adversaries. The recommendation then was to debunk them, reduce public interest, and educate the public to be skeptical. This marked a turning point because from this point forward, the federal government's public approach was containment, not necessarily concealment of aliens, but containment of hysteria. There are persistent rumors that Eisenhower himself held secret meetings regarding extraterrestrial contact. Some conspiracy theories claim that he actually met with aliens at Edwards Air Force Base. And we're going to talk about that a little bit. Early in 1954, President Dwight Eisenhower departed from the cold of Washington, D.C. for a golf vacation in Palm Springs, California. On the night of the 20th, he chipped the porcelain cap of his upper left central incisor while eating a chicken wing at dinner, probably at Hooters. I hope. He boarded Air Force One, the way you do, and took an overnight trip to see his dentist to have it repaired. The next morning, he was back in LA and seen attending a church service. At least that's the official story. There are some conspiracy theorists who believe that the dentist's story is just a ruse to cover something far stranger and weirder. So in this version of the story, President Eisenhower made a secret nocturnal trip to a nearby Air Force base to meet 2 extraterrestrial aliens. In the Ike met with ET's theory, Eisenhower went to Edwards Air Force Base, where he met these 2 aliens nicknamed Nordics because of their resemblances to Scandinavian humans with their white hair, pale blue eyes, and colourless lips. That's a bit of a racist comment, isn't it?
This is 1954.
Pale hair and skinny lips.
Why would aliens look like humans?
They could possibly be shapeshifters, and they just tried to make themselves look as unfrightening as possible. And there's not much less frightening than the Swede.
With white hair and blue eyes.
The reason the Nordics travelled to Edwards Air Base from another solar system and engaged in telepathic communication with Eisenhower was to make a request. If Ike would agree to eliminate America's nuclear weapons, the Nordics would share their superior technology and their spiritual wisdom. See, that also could be a Soviet trap, couldn't it? We are aliens. We suggest you disarm your nuclear
You
weapons.
think it was Putin's grandfather who was trying to con them again?
Either that or it was the Cadbury Smash aliens.
Oh,
And then
yes.
we beat it with their steely knives.
That was a good advertisement. After all these years. For mash,
And
get
now,
smash.
a word from our sponsors.
Yeah, it
Cadbury
was.
Smash. Now, Ike declined the deal because he didn't want to give up his nukes. However, later that same year, he purportedly reached a deal with a different alien race. And this, Ike would allow these extraterrestrials to capture Earthlings, both cattle and humans, for medical experiments if they returned the human safely home. Since then, these conspiracy theorists claim millions of humans have been kidnapped and many were never actually returned. And there is some basis in fact about people disappearing who've had alien encounters.
What jumps to my mind, 2 things when talking about these things, is one, when you look at modern conspiracy theories, so this is going back to the 50s, if you look at modern conspiracy theories, basically they are sort of promoted by government agencies and bodies as a distraction against the reality of whatever they're doing, like, you know, Trump stealing billions and billions, or his family stealing billions and billions from the American people. Back in those days, I wonder if it was exactly the same, that it was just a distraction from whatever else. They're happy to have this idea of Roswell and Area 55 or whatever the hell it is, 57 or 51,
51.
I never remember. 51. But it was, in fact, just a distraction from what was really going on. I can't comment on what was really going on in the 50s. But what also, that's the first point. Second point is, I've got this map of the world above me. Why on earth would the aliens choose to land in America?
Well, obviously, because it's the most important country on the earth.
So you think these aliens are so sophisticated that they can actually determine which geographical area is the most influential in the world, and they chose America?
If aliens are visiting us, they wouldn't talk to any of us because we are basically a fucking planet of savages. Why would they sully their hands with us? We can't even talk to each other without shooting each other.
No, I completely agree. So looking at this map, why wouldn't they land in the vastness of Russia or China or even, African continent?
Because they want to make contact. They need to be able to kidnap people to stick things up their bottoms.
But do you think that we obviously don't get Russian UFO reports because it's Russia, but do you think they have just as many Russian UFOs as American UFOs?
I would imagine that people in Russia don't report UFOs so often because gulags.
What, they might end up in a gulag?
They will absolutely end up in a gulag or be executed.
It just doesn't make any sense why they all land in America. Well, they don't, because we have UFO sightings in UK.
UK have a hell of a lot. Pro rata, we probably have more than the US.
Is that right? Anyway, carry on.
Okay, so
Eisenhower did a deal with. He didn't do a deal with the Nordics, but he did do a deal with some other aliens, and he's been shipping humans off the planet for years, has he?
Yes. So which one is it? Did he really meet with ETs 50 years ago? According to an archivist at the Eisenhower Library, not much bias there, there's nothing in the archives that indicates this.
So it didn't happen.
Well, it's the Eisenhower Library. They're not going to say, yeah, he did it. He done it. He gave away 1 million humans. He cites James Nixon, the dental historian. I did not know that was such a job.
Yeah. What's your job? I'm a dental historian.
I'm a dental historian. What does that mean? Well, you asked me about teeth that don't exist anymore.
Oh, so the dental historian corroborated the story of him chipping a tooth on a chicken wing.
Well, he's also a professor at the University of Missouri, Kansas City School of Dentistry. So this is a guy with chops. And Nixon's article, and get ready because this is snappy, A History of Dwight D. Eisenhower's Oral Health. Number 1 on the bestseller, no, it wasn't, is the definitive work on Ike's teeth, which suggests there was more than one.
What?
If he wrote the definitive work on Eisenhower's teeth, that suggests there were several others in contention.
Maybe he had a very interesting set of chops, as you say.
Apparently he was troubled by his teeth most of his life.
All right.
Anyway, the president, it says here, the president had well-documented difficulties with this crown. Well-documented. It would probably just pop out when he was halfway through peace negotiations. And details how the crown was first installed in July of 52, was chipped and repaired in December of the same year, and again in July 1954, when the president's dentist replaced it with a thin cast gold and platinum thimble crown, whatever the hell that is.
Do you remember your first experience of going to the dentist?
Yes, I still have nightmares about it.
I can tell you, well, we're similar age, but I remember going to Mr. Green. Mr. Green was his name. He lived on Green Lane. And his equipment, the drilling thing, was literally the rubber bands, like an old steam engine, for Christ's sake. That was what was driving the drill. It was so slow.
And enormous as well. I mean, they literally had to prise your mouth open to get the end in.
Yeah. So I can remember
the injections. The syringe was about that.
I know. That was absolutely terrible. He was an absolutely shite dentist. And in fact,
they were all butchers.
One of the jobs he did on my teeth, I was still suffering the consequences 20 or 30 years later.
Do you know I had a tooth out on Monday after we did our recording?
No. Why?
I cracked it a few weeks ago. And sort of 3 bits fell out of my mouth while I was eating some particularly tough candy.
A toffee.
And it didn't hurt, so I didn't do anything about it. But then over the weekend, it started throbbing a bit, so I've obviously got an infection. So I had to wait till Monday. did the podcast with you, toughed it out like a pro. Then I thought, I'm going to have to try and get an appointment. I figured I would get an appointment for like today or tomorrow because dentists here are the same as in England. They're quite hard to nail down. But they gave me one that afternoon. So I jumped into town and I swear my appointment was at 3:00. I got there early because my bus pulled in at 2:50. So by the time I walked to the dentist office, he pulled me in early, whipped it out in less than 5 minutes, and I was on the bus home at 3:15. It was so quick.
What was it? One of your molars in that case?
It was around here. So yeah, it's
right at the back.
But it's fine. I mean, the thing is, it came out easy because there was not much left of it. But there was quite a bit of pain when the anaesthetic wore off. So I was taking ibuprofen and paracetamol every 5 hours or something and the pain woke me up Monday night, Tuesday morning, and it woke me up Tuesday night, Wednesday morning. But then this morning I woke up with no pain.
All right, so it's sorted.
But I still took the painkillers just in case it was just being a longer period and I took some just before this podcast, but I think that's probably the last ones I'll take.
So anyway, what made me think of it was what dentistry was like in 1950s when Eisenhower was in power, and I can remember what it was like in
it was probably a hammer and chisel in those days.
5 or 6 when I used to go to Mr. Green, so 1967.
Yeah, there would have been medieval torture devices in the 50s.
Yeah, literally a hammer and chisel.
So anyway, even though Eisenhower never made a public statement on the matter, his son provided a response to a recent email inquiry as to whether or not his father had ever met with aliens.
What did he say?
No. And he declined to comment any further. So, I mean, you can make your own mind up, but I believe, and we can go into this in another episode, there's a lot more to Eisenhower and his alien meetings with a lot more detail, but that would require its own episode, and I think we probably will do it one day.
What was the step change in the Eisenhower regime that gives you the idea that he was party to some extraterrestrial information that might have benefited mankind?
Technology advances.
In Eisenhower's reign?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Well, I've just had a text message from the White House saying cease and desist.
Yes. There weren't any step changes in the 50s.
Of course
50s and 60s.
Elvis Presley, rock and roll, baby.
Yeah, that's not technological.
No, but he was an alien.
Who? Elvis?
Yes. There was no human being that beautiful.
Elvis was not very beautiful when he kicked the bucket.
No, because he'd got addicted to KFC by then.
Was it KFC?
I hope so, because I want to go the same way.
No, I don't think it was KFC. I think he was a burger man.
Yeah, he was hamburgers. They didn't have KFC back then.
Of course they did.
No, I don't think so.
Colonel Sanders since 1853.
No way. No way. You're thinking Heineken now. There's no way that Colonel Sanders was around in 18 anything.
Right. I'm busy Googling now. Okay. You carry on.
So, yeah. So there's no verified documentation supporting the Eisenhower claims. But what we do know is that under Eisenhower, UFOs were firmly classified as a matter of national security. Oh, so we can move on to John F. Kennedy, because he took office in 1961 when the Cold War was actually intensifying.
Sorry, shall I just tell you when KFC was established?
Go on then.
We were talking about Eisenhower.
Yeah.
And you were saying that they weren't around in those days. 1952.
So the same time as Eisenhower. Perhaps that was the pivotal point. Perhaps the aliens gave him KFC.
Oh, well, sorry. Actually, that was KFC Company, but that came from Saunders Court and Cafe. That was 1930.
Yeah, but it's the same with McDonald's. McDonald's started as a one-man band, and some guy came and bought the brand.
God, dear, 1930. So they're about to celebrate their 100 years.
Can you imagine how many chickens have died?
Probably not many. Do they serve chicken?
A lot of rats and pigeons. No,
oh, sorry, KFC. I'm only saying that because I know it's your favourite place and you go there quite a lot. Well, you don't. Well, is there one in Skellefteå?
Oh, fuck no. I have to actually travel 1,000 kilometres round trip.
And you do?
Perhaps a little bit more. Maybe it's 1,200.
No, that's right. I remember last time you came down, you made a 6-hour detour to go to KFC. You had a bootload of KFC all the way back home.
Yeah, there's no door dashing KFC in this country, unfortunately.
I was going to say, can't you order it on Foodora or whatever that delivery is? Some bloke on a moped all the way up.
I'd have to order it yesterday to eat it for tonight.
Anyway, I don't know what got us onto that. We were talking about Eisenhower and aliens. And
alien technology. They gave us the know-how, obviously, to make the KFC.
Oh, I see.
So, yeah, the Cuban Missile Crisis.
1960.
61.
61, it was the year of my birth.
Space race, nuclear brinkmanship. And these were essential concerns. And UFOs, therefore, didn't come high on the public agenda. But internally, Project Blue Book was still very much active. Now, there's a widely circulated but kind of disputed document suggesting that Kennedy requested UFO intelligence information shortly before his assassination. And the authenticity of that document remains debated. What is confirmed is that Kennedy's administration continued Project Blue Book investigations. Between 1952 and 1969, Project Blue Book collected over 12,000 reports, and about 701 of those, exactly 701 of those, remained officially unidentified. Kennedy publicly did not emphasize UFOs. The national focus was on reaching the moon before the Soviets, a goal allegedly fulfilled under his successor. And his successor, do you remember?
No.
Lyndon Johnson.
Oh, no, I wouldn't have remembered him.
So after Kennedy's assassination, Lyndon B. Johnson assumed office. And by the mid-60s, public interest in UFOs was surging again. High-profile sightings in Michigan in 1966 sparked controversy. An Air Force explanation attributing sightings to swamp gas became a national punchline. In response to mounting pressure, the Air Force commissioned the University of Colorado to conduct an independent scientific study, and this became known as the Condon Report. That's a very one you have to be careful with.
Exactly.
Led by physicist Edward Condon. I went to school with a guy called Condon, Terry Condon. He was in my little brother's class. Poor Terry. He's dead now, unfortunately.
What, already?
Yeah, cancer. A few years ago.
Oh.
The Condon Report, released in 1968, concluded that further study of UFOs was unlikely to yield scientific value. So, expert opinion coming in thick and fast. What could we learn from anyone who's crossed hundreds of light years to come steal cows, for God's sake?
Why was there interest in cows?
What
do you mean,
We'll do an episode on that when I've thought of something.
Yeah, exactly.
The bovine UFOs. In 1969, under President Richard Nixon, Project Blue Book was officially terminated. Now, that in itself is suspicious because under Nixon, there was a lot more incredible stuff going on. If you think about the Montauk Project, the Men in Black, all the other sort of stuff. But anyway, the official position, UFOs posed no threat to national security and showed no evidence of extraterrestrial origin.
The thing is that if aliens manage to come here and land and infiltrate, then they're obviously sophisticated enough to basically do whatever they want to do.
Yeah, but we don't know what their end game is.
No, but that's why it's so preposterous there is an end game or that they exist.
No,
because they would have just done it. They would have achieved their goals. What they want to perhaps eat us or something.
Yes, exactly. Perhaps we are food, and now they're basically breeding us at the moment, so they get a good 20 billion of us before they actually harvest the crop. They're using the cows in the meantime to make beef burgers, but what they want is an Andy burger.
No one would want an Andy burger.
Oh, I could choose a couple of buns to make a nice Andy sandwich.
Actually, no, your meat is probably quite good because you never do anything. On the other hand,
well, you think I'm well marbled.
Yes, I think you are well marbled, and you have a beer. Well, you don't. When was the last time you had a drink?
When Hannah was here.
All right, so you're literally off the. I don't. I used to have an aperitif and a glass of wine, but that's all stopped.
Yeah, it's been like 6 weeks, 7 weeks since Hannah was here, and that was the only day this year that I actually had a drink.
No, that's what I mean, because I remember you telling me you hadn't had anything since Christmas.
But anyway, the story hasn't ended here.
Oh dear, why? There's more. So I thought they closed the book.
Yeah, they closed the Blue Book project.
But the Green Book came up.
Before becoming president, Gerald Ford had publicly advocated for greater transparency regarding UFO investigations. As a congressman in 1966, Ford called for hearings after the Michigan sightings. However, once in office, of course, there's no public evidence that Ford pushed for any major UFO disclosures. As usual, what's in the mandate book and the manifesto never makes it to the goalposts. Nixon, meanwhile, has long been rumoured to have an interest in UFOs. Some accounts, including those from political figures and researchers, claim that Nixon privately discussed UFO matters with associates and even allegedly showed Jackie Gleason, well-known actor, classified material.
Why would he show a well-known actor classified material?
Golf buddies, I'm guessing. They used to like hobnobbing with Hollywood stars, didn't they, presidents?
Can you imagine an alien interacting with Trump?
I can imagine an alien fathering Trump.
Yes, you're right. What was the Jabba the Hutt? I can imagine. Yes, can you imagine if he turns out to be Trump's father?
Half
Jabba the Hutt.
Jabba, half Wookiee. Except less hairy, of course. Now, these claims remain anecdotal and unverified, but still, during the Nixon and Ford years, something important was happening behind the scenes. The intelligence community continued collecting data. Even after Blue Book ended, radar systems, NORAD tracking, and military encounters didn't stop. They simply stopped being publicly framed as UFO investigations. So then came the peanut farmer.
Carter. Jimmy.
In 1969, future President Jimmy Carter himself reported seeing a strange object in the sky while in Georgia. It's an aeroplane, Jim. It's a big metal bird that carries people from state to state.
Really? He actually saw one, did he?
He described a glowing object that changed colours and hovered before disappearing. Years later, he stated he didn't believe it was extraterrestrial, but the sighting remained part of his public record.
Well done, Jimmy.
And during his 1976 presidential campaign, he also promised greater transparency regarding UFO information. However, once entering office, that promise once again quietly faded away.
What are they worried about?
Well,
why would a government be worried about saying, yeah, we've met aliens?
Because they would lose control of the people.
Why?
If we knew...
How would your life change if the aliens, you knew they existed? How would that change your life?
Why would we obey our governments when we know there is a far superior force and knowledge and wisdom among us that we could worship instead?
Worship? What's that got to do with anything? They're aliens. They're just another race of something, of beings from a different planet.
Why are we not reciprocate? Why are we not having reciprocal knowledge with them? Why are we not benefiting from their advanced civilization as a whole? Why are we not learning from them?
No, but what do you mean? I don't think they exist. I'm just saying, what are we all afraid of? What are the governments afraid of?
One eternity later.
How dare you? What do you mean they don't exist? Of course they exist. There's many races of aliens out there.
You think Jimmy Carter was enough to stop an alien invasion?
I'm not saying, no, you couldn't stop an alien invasion. If they've got the technology to get here, they've got the technology to blow this place to smithereens. Don't worry about that.
So why are we worried about them? Why do you worry about something you've got no control over?
Well, you worry about all sorts of shit.
No, but you shouldn't. That's the point. You should worry about things that you can actually have an influence over.
I want my bucket list, midget nun, blah, blah, blah. On that bucket list is to be abducted by aliens and taken around the galaxy a bit. I want to see a bit of space before I go.
You just want to slip into that blue velour suit, don't you?
I do want a bit of alone time with 69.
What's happened to 69?
She's a bit
is she going to promote this episode?
She is indeed, yes. Today, as in our today.
You're going to work on her.
Did you see the last promotion? Probably not.
Yes, I did.
Ilva watches them, you know. She actually likes them.
What do you mean I do as well, don't I?
No, you're supposed to share them and everything. You do nothing. I see this, you know. I see who likes and who shares. You have no interaction whatsoever.
Oh, it's only because I'm probably half asleep when I'm actually going on Facebook.
Oh, yeah, because when you're watching Arabella, your eyes are half closed anyway, though.
God's sake.
Got nothing to do with sleeping, is it? She's a rather hot little totty.
Arabella. Nice name.
She's actually named after you have a list of voices that you can choose from, and this voice was called Arabella, so it saved me actually thinking. Sounds a bit like a cow to me.
Arabella?
Go get Arabella from the pasture.
No, it doesn't sound, no. Arabella sounds like a very nice, decent young girl, the marrying sort. You'd marry Arabella.
You wouldn't marry my Arabella. I stood her up on Valentine's Day, apparently. Anyway, why would Carter lie about opening up with extraterrestrial activity? Former officials have suggested that Carter was briefed on classified aspects of unidentified aerial phenomena, as they were known by now, but ultimately didn't pursue his public disclosure. The reason... Go on.
Yeah, carry on. Yeah, I was going to say, this comes back to my point. We keep talking about the Americans reviewing national security concerns and all this bollocks. Are we saying that UFOs have never landed anywhere else in the world?
Of course they have.
Well, why is it so everybody has the same national security concerns?
It's the same as with the arms race in the Cold War. The Russians are doing their thing, the Americans are doing their thing, and no one wants to let the other one know exactly where they're at. And it's the same with UFOs. You're not going to go to the Americans, we've got aliens talking to us, because then you're making an enemy of the Americans. And the Americans are going to start pointing their nukes at your country instead.
It just doesn't make any sense. So Australia's a pretty big landing spot. You think of it, they land in Oz. What on earth? Oz could say, yeah, we're talking with them. We're going to get their technology and such like.
We've even opened a bottle-o near their favourite landing site, mate.
A what? A bottle-o?
A bottle-o, yeah.
What's a bottle-o?
A bottle-o. It's like an off-licence.
No, it's not.
Shop.
It's a hotel.
No, a bottle-o is a fucking off license. It's where you buy your booze.
A bottle
shop. Bottle-o.
I haven't heard that, and I bloody live there, for God's sake. Obviously, they don't talk like that in Sydney.
Yeah, they talk like this. It's wonderful coming to the vacay home in Sydney.
I can tell you. They definitely don't.
Anyway, former officials have suggested... I did that bit, but he put me off now. So the reason that he wouldn't disclose remain unclear, but possibly national security concerns and possibly a lack of definitive evidence. But Carter's presidency illustrates a pattern: public curiosity, private briefing, and public silence. Ronald Reagan, when he came into office, he's one of the most frequently cited presidents in UFO discussions, because Reagan publicly referenced the idea of an alien threat multiple times.
He had appeared in sci-fi films.
Yeah, he'd actually been involved in alien death. In a 1987 speech before the United Nations, he said, "I occasionally think how quickly our defenses worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside of this world." And this was likely theoretical, a metaphor for global unity, but Reagan reportedly had his own personal UFO sighting whilst he was governor of California. According to accounts from his pilot, Reagan once observed a strange object following his plane. It later turned out to be Nancy, high on crack.
Nancy, that poor... She's dead as well now, isn't she, Nancy?
Yeah, she died of a drug underdose.
She was in her 90s, that woman.
Just say no.
And Ronnie had dementia, didn't he?
Poor old Ronnie. Got shot too, didn't he?
He did. He survived an assassination attempt.
Unlike Trump, who wasn't nearly assassinated. Fucking liar. No official documentation confirms ET involvement with Reagan. However, his interest in space defense, particularly the Strategic Defense Initiative, often called Star Wars, which got about as far as Elon Musk's Mars base, has fueled speculation among researchers. Was it simply missile defense, or was it preparation for something else that he could see coming? There's no direct evidence supporting ET interpretations, but Reagan's repeated references keep his name central in UFO history.
Talking about Trump assassination, the young chap who shot him, actually accused of shooting him.
The 12-year-old with big
he's not 12, he's 24. But he hasn't appeared in court yet, has he?
Didn't they kill him?
I was going to say, did they kill him?
That's what they normally do with their patsies.
Because one of them, maybe it was Charlie Kirk's assassin.
I don't know, I can't remember. But no,
No.
you'll never hear from these people again. They've
No, but
solved
that's
their
it. They
purpose.
suddenly just nobody hears about the court or anything.
No.
They just disappear.
They've served their purpose. They just move on to the next distraction. So George H.W. Bush brought something unique to the presidency, apart from eating children. He had previously served as a director of the CIA. And given that UFO investigations often intersect with the intelligence agencies, which is itself an oxymoron, intelligence agency,
Agencies, yeah.
Bush's background has attracted attention. However, during his presidency, UFOs again were not a major public topic. If there were classified programs ongoing during the late Cold War, they remained deeply compartmentalized. Now, we know there was because we've spoken about a lot of them on our podcasts, and they all took place in these 60s and 70s years. When Bill Clinton took office in 1993, they cleaned the carpets in the Oval Office, and it wasn't long before they realized they'd made a major mistake.
God's sake.
He was spaffing all over the place. But UFO culture experienced a renaissance. Television shows like The X-Files captured the public imagination.
Oh, Anderson.
Clinton
What?
reportedly
What do you
asked,
mean? Gillian Anderson?
It's not my cup of tea.
But what's not to like about her?
Miserable face. She looks like a bulldog licking piss off a nettle.
For God's sake.
Put a smile on it, you know?
She smiles.
Clinton reportedly asked advisors about Area 51 and whether the government was hiding anything. Now, Area 51 is just basically a classified testing facility in Nevada, and it had long been associated with UFO rumors. And during Clinton's presidency, the government officially acknowledged the existence of Area 51 for the first time, although not in connection with any extraterrestrial events. Clinton later said publicly that if the government were hiding aliens, he would want to know. Well, yeah, because you're the boss of the government, basically. It's your job to know, mate. However, we all know the truth, that you're just a figurehead like the king, and you ain't going to know shit. There's no evidence that Clinton disclosed extraterrestrial secrets, but his curiosity reflected a broader pattern. Presidents appear aware of the mythology and occasionally probe it, but they remain bound by classification systems. George W. Bush Jr., his national security priorities shifted dramatically after, of course, the September 11 attacks. Terrorism dominated intelligence resources, and UFOs were not publicly discussed at all. However, during this period, something significant was happening quietly within the Department of Defense. Between 2007 and 2012, a secret Pentagon program called the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, or RTIP, operated
Catchy.
under the radar. It was funded at $22 million and focused on investigating unidentified aerial phenomena. But this program would not become public knowledge until many years later. So, we're at the presidency of George W. and the quiet existence of a little-known program called RTIP. For decades, UFOs had existed in a strange political space, publicly minimized and privately monitored, dismissed in headlines but filed in classified databases. But something was about to change, and that wasn't because of aliens or evidence even. When Barack Obama took office in 2009, the United States were emerging from financial crisis and engaged in 2 wars, which probably Trump would have finished in seconds, minutes even.
Exactly.
UFOs weren't a headline issue, but within the Department of Defense, RTIP was active. The program had been initiated in 2007 with support from Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid. It focused on military encounters with unidentified aerial phenomena, what would increasingly be called UAP instead of UFOs. And why the new term, you ask, I hear?
Yes. Why? Why do they suddenly call them OAPs?
Because UFO carried cultural baggage, little green men, conspiracy theories, ridicule. UAP, unidentified aerial phenomena, sounds more clinical, technical and neutral.
So they were worried about offending the sensibilities of the aliens.
Yeah, basically they were being a little woke, a little politically correct. So between 2004 and 2015, several high-profile Navy encounters occurred. We did an episode about this.
Yeah, we did.
Forgotten. The most famous one involving the USS Nimitz.
That's right.
The carrier strike group in 2004, where Navy pilots tracked a white tic-tac shaped object that demonstrated extraordinary flight characteristics, instantaneous acceleration, no visible propulsion, and maneuvers that appeared to defy conventional aerodynamics.
What was the latest Obama? We've already touched on Obama. What did he have to correct? He appeared on a podcast and said something, and then he had to actually
I don't
explain what he meant. That's been in the news the last 2 days.
Well, then it might be in my research here, but all
right.
Who knows? Radar operators, infrared systems, and visual witnesses corroborated these events. And this incident, although occurring before Obama's presidency, would become central during his administration and afterwards. In 2017, after Obama had left office, the New York Times revealed the existence of RTIP and released 3 declassified Navy videos. And those videos, Fur 1, Gimbal, and Go Fast, were later officially confirmed by the Pentagon. When asked about UFOs during the media interviews after leaving office, Obama gave measured responses. In 2021, he acknowledged that there are objects in the sky, and this is bunny ears now, that we don't know exactly what they are. So notice the wording. Not extraterrestrials, not spacecraft, not unknown objects. For the first time in modern history, a former president openly acknowledges that unidentified aerial phenomena are real in the sense that they are being observed and they are unexplained. And that might sound small, but it's not, because it marked a cultural shift from ridicule to legitimacy. And talking of ridicule, when Donald Trump entered office in 2017, the New York Times revelation about RTIP occurred during his term. Trump was asked directly about UFOs in interviews. His answers were typically cautious.
It's all fake news. It's phony stuff. It didn't happen.
Sometimes dismissive. He stated that he had been briefed but did not appear overly concerned. At one point, he said he had heard very interesting, the best interesting, the most interesting, nobody knows interesting UFOs better than I do, things, but stopped short of endorsing extraordinary interpretations.
Well, I know why. He's got no interest in UFOs because how could he possibly make money out of them?
He could sell UFOs. I mean, come on. Imagine if you had imagine if you built in a UFO fucking sightseeing tour to the Trump Hotel penthouse.
You're right. He could sell UFO paraphernalia or even bits of spaceships, actually. He has special access.
But make UFOs great again, caps would make him a billionaire again.
Yeah, that's right.
His answers were typically cautious when he was asked in interviews, sometimes dismissive. He stated that he had been briefed, but he wasn't concerned. And under his administration, something structurally important happened. In 2020, the Pentagon formally established the Unidentified Aerial Phenomena Task Force. And their mission was explicit: detect, analyze, and catalogue UAP that could pose a threat to national security. We're back to that old chestnut. The emphasis again was on threat assessment, not aliens, but threat. The same framework that had defined the issue since Truman. But now, instead of denying sightings, the government was acknowledging them and organising official study groups. The Navy also updated its reporting guidelines in 2019, encouraging pilots to report UAP encounters without any stigma. That change alone is historically significant because for decades, pilots feared career damage for reporting strange sightings, but now the system invited it. During Trump's presidency, the first one, the Office of the Director of National Intelligence was required by Congress to produce an unclassified report on UAP. And this mandate signaled something unprecedented, which was legislative oversight. Congress was now directly involved. So under Joe Biden, Sleepy Joe, the first unclassified UAP report was released in June 2021. And the report analysed 144 incidents reported by military personnel between 2004 and 2021. Only one of those was explained with high confidence. The remaining 143 remain unresolved. The report didn't claim extraterrestrial origins. It contained 5 potential explanatory categories. They're ambiguous, to say the least. One of them was airborne clutter, because we all get that. Number 2 was natural atmospheric phenomena, such as the Northern Lights. Could accept some of that. Number 3, US government or industry developmental programs. Bollocks. 4, foreign adversary systems. And 5, just in case we missed anything, other. So that last category, of course, leaves the door wide open. The report acknowledged that some UAP demonstrated unusual flight characteristics, but it emphasized lack of data rather than proof of extraordinary technology. And this document represents one of the most transparent official acknowledgements in US history, not because it confirms aliens, but because it confirms uncertainty. Presidents for decades had avoided the topic, but now the executive branch was required to address it publicly. And this led to congressional hearings in 2022 and 2023. Pentagon officials testified, military witnesses described encounters, and former intelligence officers made claims about hidden crash retrieval programs, claims that remain unverified and strongly contested. The executive branch under Biden maintained a cautious tone. The Pentagon created a new office, the All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, or ARROW. All-domain is important, not just aerial, but also space, sea, land, and even underwater. This linguistic expansion reflects evolving defense concerns, drones, hypersonic weapons, advanced surveillance systems. So are UAP secret foreign technology? Are they sensor anomalies? Are they classified US programs? Or are they something else? Presidents are briefed on classified matters daily. However, presidential knowledge doesn't necessarily mean comprehensive awareness of every compartmentalized program. The US national security structure is vast, highly compartmentalized, and even presidents operate within a system of need-to-know limitations and bureaucratic filtering. The popular image of a president opening a vault labelled aliens is purely cinematic. Information flows through agencies, briefings, committees, oversight channels, and sometimes ambiguity persists. If we step back and analyse all presidencies from Truman to Biden, several patterns emerge. First, the consistent framing of UFOs as a national security issue. Second, public minimisation combined with private monitoring. Third, cycles of increased attention followed by bureaucratic silence. Fourth, no verified public disclosure of extraterrestrial contact. And this doesn't mean that nothing unusual has occurred. It means that the official position has consistently prioritised security, uncertainty, and cautious language. And the Cold War explains much of the early secrecy. Advanced aircraft programs, U-2 spy planes, SR-71 Blackbird flights, stealth prototypes, often produced sightings. The public did not know anything about these programs at the time. But declassifying UFO reports risked exposing sensitive technology, and that alone may account for significant secrecy. But modern sightings, especially those captured by advanced military sensors, present a different challenge. When trained Navy pilots describe objects accelerating beyond known limits, the issue becomes harder to dismiss. Presidents today must navigate these competing pressures: national security against scientific credibility and public transparency. Admit too much, and panic or misinterpretation may spread. Admit too little, and trust gets eroded. So beyond policy, presidents are cultural figures, as we can see. When Reagan spoke of alien threats at the UN, he tapped into a universal narrative. When Obama acknowledged unknown objects, he normalized the discussion. And when Trump teased of interesting briefings, he fueled speculation. Presidential language is important because it shapes public imagination. From Roswell to modern UAP hearings, the evolution of terminology mirrors evolving strategy. Flying saucers become UFOs, UFOs become UAP. And now some officials are using unidentified anomalous phenomena. And each linguistic shift attempts to detach the subject from stigma. So, did any of the presidents really know the truth? And this is the question that lingers behind every historical account. Did any president receive definitive proof of extraterrestrial visitation? And there's no publicly verified evidence that any of them ever did. But the claims persist. Whistleblowers emerge and documents circulate. But extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. Presidents operate within institutions, the Pentagon, CIA, NSA, Department of Energy, and if an extraordinary discovery had occurred, it would require massive coordination across agencies, contractors, and administrations. Maintaining such secrecy across decades, much like the moon landings, and political transitions would be extraordinarily difficult, though not impossible. The absence of leaked physical proof suggests that either there is no extraterrestrial program to reveal, the information is deeply compartmentalized beyond typical oversight, or the phenomena remain genuinely unexplained but not extraterrestrial. Uncertainty is not confirmation. There's another dimension worth considering: strategic ambiguity. Throughout history, nations have allowed adversaries to wonder about capabilities. If rival powers believe the US possesses advanced technology, even if it's misunderstood, that ambiguity can serve defense purposes. Conversely, if UAP represent foreign technology, downplaying knowledge may prevent revealing intelligence gaps. Presidents must weigh these considerations carefully. National defense often thrives on controlled uncertainty. So what would it take for a president to make a definitive announcement? Clear, undeniable, independently verifiable evidence, physical material, scientific consensus, international coordination, and such a movement would be unprecedented in the history of the human race. But the trend line over the last decade even shows increasing transparency compared to the 1950s. The ridicule barrier has weakened. Scientists are cautiously re-engaging with the subject. Government offices are formally tasked with analysis, and the conversation is evolving from fringe to formal. So from Harry S. Truman to Joe Biden, the presidency has intersected repeatedly with the unknown. Radar blips over Washington, Project Blue Book files, campaign promises of transparency, secret Pentagon programs, some of which we've covered, declassified Navy videos, congressional hearings. Each administration inherited not alien bodies in freezers, but a question. What are these objects and what do we tell the public? Perhaps the most honest answer across 8 decades is this. Presidents know that something has been observed, and they know it occasionally defies easy explanation. They also know that national security must be protected, and they certainly know that either way, nothing has been yet achieved. The story of US presidents and UFOs isn't the story of confirmed alien contact. It's a story of power confronting uncertainty, of secrecy shaped by war and curiosity restrained by responsibility. It's of a nation looking up and a presidency tasked with deciding how much to say about what it sees. As of today, no president has stood before the American people and declared we are not alone. But for the first time in modern history, they have acknowledged that not everything in our skies is understood, and that just may be the beginning of a whole new chapter.
Ah, that's more alien-like. Why didn't you use that to start with? Or was that the one?
Exactly the same one.
Oh, is it? And I got ghosts the
Because
first
now
time
I've
round.
implanted the aliens in your subconscious.
You're absolutely right, actually. Yes, it is. Now I think that sound is associated with aliens.
And that brings us to the end of UFOs, aliens, and presidents.
Presidents. Yeah. Well, we'll have to do another one, an update when we get what happened with Obama the other day.
Well, you know, we could literally do an episode every week on UFOs and aliens with the amount of stuff that's out there. And it is popular with our listeners. So
Jimmy Carter. Yeah.
But yeah, quite interesting.
Well done.
They've all got their. Well, I mean, half of them have seen UFOs, for God's sake.
Do you think?
Well, more than
you
I
might
have.
be right.
You
might be right. Yes, well done, Arabella.
Arabella's got nothing to do with this episode.
Oh, isn't it? It's what's her name? 69. You have to change her name.
No, because that's her name. You can't. I'm not going to change her government name to a slave name. She is what she is. Anyway, I'm looking forward to working with her later today. She's a bit saucy. She's 69.
Indeed.
Hope she keeps her 6 fingers to herself.
Is that what she's got? 6 fingers?
Well, it felt like it when she put them up my bum.
Oh, dear. Yes, well done, Andy.
Yeah, so thanks for listening, everyone.
Yep.
Join us again, same time, same place next week. And also, don't forget, become a Patreon and you can hear us on Wednesdays as well. Do you realise now that our Patreon members get 3 episodes a week? 3 brand new episodes every week. That's value for money, man.
You're right, but they have to listen to the murdery bits.
They don't have to. They could skip that if it's not to their taste. But I can tell you that some of our murdery bits, well, most of them are quite entertaining. It's not all about, and then he stabbed her 28 times. In fact, some of them are a little bit, I wouldn't say disrespectful, but we do tend to giggle sometimes.
Yeah, well, that's what I don't like. Anyway.
But, you know, we're respectful as respectful can be. obviously.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah.
I digress. Don't forget, you can check out our website at strangestuffpodcast.com. Give us a like, a subscribe, and a follow on Spotify. You can watch us on YouTube, Apple AirPlay.
And what about TikTok? We're
We're
doing well on TikTok.
We're quite active on TikTok. At least our girls are on our advertising videos.
Yeah.
So give us a follow there as well. And just like, subscribe everywhere you see, and become a Patreon. Join the
Very good.
We'll see you same time, same place next week. In the meantime, have yourselves a strange week. Don't become president of the US. And if you do, don't forget to cover up all the alien stuff that you're bound to be told about. Bye for now.
Exactly. Bye for now.